Hi friends! Welcome to day 4 of Harry Potter week. So we had 2 amazing days of potions the last 2 days. And today we are going to put on our maker hats. So there is no right or wrong way to make this. And I am super excited. It's going to be great for our sibling pairs too, because you can build a great game out of this. So today what we're going to make is we're going to make some Quidditch games that are going to be powered by our own homemade catapults. And we'll be able to do some making and some engineering, and we'll learn a little bit of physics as we do it. And before we get to the supplies and our shout outs, I just want to say if you're new, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out our Facebook and all that jazz. We have some awesome things coming up, like tomorrow we're making a sorting hat that will tell you what you are, what house you're in, and maybe you're just a muggle if you just don't light it up. So that's gonna be an awesome thing. And if you want to know your supplies and the templates and all of that jazz ahead of time, you can find us on patreon.com/rosieresearch, and you can support our kids' science projects for as low as $1 a week. So it's like a coffee a month, which is amazing. Before we get to our shout outs, if you do want to shout out, make sure you type your name into the comments and we will get to those. What we need today is kind of not too much. I've got like my awesome bin of craft sticks because I love craft sticks. I love glue guns, so I've got glue. I've got some plastic spoons, but if you don't have plastic spoons, no big deal. I've got some tape. I got scissors. I do have rubber bands, but you could use hair ties and that's gonna help our catapults. But even if you don't have that, we can still make it work. And then I have this like pile of stuff from our recycling bin. I mean, it's like, I've got dairy lids, I've got a Parmesan thing, I've got some shipping stuff, just randomness that we can use to build. Because when you're a maker, you get to be really creative and work with what you have. That's part of the challenge that we will do. And then, the last thing I have are some awesome little balls for our Quidditch game. So I have my golden Snitch, I've got the Quaffle, and I have 2 Bludgers that are red with blood, apparently. And those are we're going to use just as part of the game that we make today. So that's kind of what you need. And I have a sheet of paper so we can make a plan, because
that's what we got with Griffin saying
hi. Let's get started. I have a blank piece of paper, and there is, again, no right way to make this. We are being makers today. There's not even an engineering challenge. There's no like, how many pennies can you fit? How few straws can you use? How high can it go? How much water can spin it? This is all for fun. So we are being makers today. So I just want you guys to know there is no right or wrong answer. But we are going to try to make an awesome Quidditch game. And every time that I want to make something, I like to have a plan. Plans are really important. Because sometimes when you plan, you realize that you have forgotten something really important that you probably would have wanted to do at the very beginning. So the plan helps you so you don't get to the very end and you're like, oh, I really should have done that as my first step. And then you have to like start all over. That's no fun. And plans also help you think more creatively and get better ideas. So we want to make Quidditch. And so somehow we're going to plan some goals in our Quidditch. And I've always imagined the goals as different sizes and different heights. I could be wrong. This is how I imagine the goals in my Quidditch game. So we're gonna have to somehow build some goals in our plan, and I think I might use popsicle sticks for this. Popsicle sticks. Ooh, it's hard to write upside down. Shout out to all the teachers that do this like all the time. I'm gonna use popsicle sticks, and maybe this is like a dairy lid or something. And sometimes when I'm making that plan, I like to think about what I will use, because that will help me think about what I have available. So you might not have any dairy tub lids available, and that's okay. Maybe you think, I'll make these rings out of pipe cleaners. Or maybe you could make the rings out of some sort of sculpey clay. Or maybe you could make the rings out of paper and just have some paper rings. There's all sorts of ideas for that. So I'm gonna need my goals. So that is gonna be my goal posts. And then I also need something to fling it. So I need my catapults. Wow, it is really hard to write and spell. And there's all sorts of different catapults. We have a catapult that looks like this with a spoon. But we could make a catapult that was maybe like a spoon being flung over like this. That could be a catapult system. I could maybe make a catapult out of lots of twigs and sticks like I have over here. So maybe my spoon comes back like that. I don't know. You'll have to decide what kind of catapult you want yours to look like, but we'll look at a couple of different ones. And then this one is not on our original list. And that's because sometimes your first draft is not your best draft. We made this, and Isabel and Evan were like, something's missing. And they thought that what was missing was some players. So we thought maybe while we were here together, we should take a string and put something on a broomstick, and that could be like the blockers, and maybe it's like a little person. But our goal is gonna be to like fling a ball, and the blocker might block it and say, nope, not getting into the goal. Or maybe we fling a ball and it goes in and we score. And we say, yay! That does not look like a yay. So this is gonna be sort of our plan, and I've drawn it out. I have an idea. I could add more stuff. Like I could say, okay, maybe the Snitch is worth 50 points, and maybe the Quaffles worth 10 points, and maybe the Bludgers are negative. That wouldn't be fun. Maybe the Bludgers are just 5 points. So maybe that's how I'm gonna do a point system on it. So now I have my plan, and hopefully you guys have your piece of paper and you have a plan. It doesn't have to look the same way as mine. All right, sometimes the best innovations come from somebody just having their own idea and going for it. So I wanna say, you should go for it, all right? Whatever your plan is, you should go for it. So let's talk about how we are gonna make some stuff. So the goals that we're gonna make, we need some sort of a loop. So whatever you use, we want something to be a loop. And previously I made it with pipe cleaners, but I kind of love to show you guys different ideas. So I was looking in my recycling bin and I thought this would make a fantastic loop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut up into it, and then I'm gonna cut this nice big hole so that this nice big hole could be my loop. And I could easily tape this hole together. I could cut it better if I'd like to cut it a little bit better. I could totally do that because we'll have lots of time to work. And then I have to think about, how will I attach this so it stands up? And I love using craft sticks. As you can see, I have my 1,000 craft sticks with me. I have multiple boxes too. It's a little crazy in this house. If you don't have craft sticks, you could use cardboard, or you could see what's in your recycling bin. Maybe there's something amazing in your recycling bin. Maybe there's some, like our girls have been eating these little pop can candies, and they kind of look like they could work really well like this too. Like I could just sort of tape that on there and I'd have one. It's super up to you. I mean, there is, again, no right or wrong way to be a maker. The goal is just to like, see what you can do and go with it.
There's something in here.
I am going to make, I'm going to glue a popsicle stick to the front of this. And I just lost my glue stick, but. So I'm going to glue this guy on the front. Yeah. And I'm noticing it's not working as good as I want, so I might switch gears and try tape instead. That's, as a maker, you want to be super flexible. If something's not working the way you want it to work, we have to be flexible and see if, will something else work? And I think I'm going to put a piece of tape that goes around to help secure that in place. And it feels pretty secure right now. Now, of course, this is not going to stand up. That's not as good as what I'd like. So what I think I might do is I actually love, in a lot of my classes, I have found if I glue them onto the popsicle stick like this, this works a lot better than if I take a popsicle stick and try to glue it like that. I've had a lot of trouble getting something to stand up like this. So instead we can give it a better area to adhere to. We can make it a little bit stronger by instead adding these bottom pieces that then we could either connect together or we could see if it stands up just like that. And I'm gonna make a sandwich. I'm gonna sandwich mine. We'll see how it goes. And again, building completely out of your recycling bin is a great way to do this. I mean, and also so much fun because then you don't know what you're gonna have as an option, right? I will say, please don't fight over supplies. Your parents will say that, I'm sure. You just have to think more creatively if the supplies we want are either not available or are in use. All right, so I have this guy.
Kaya's got a great idea.
But it's still not working quite the way I want. Yeah, what's Kaya's idea?
She says, have fun.
Yes, Kaya, exactly. We just want to have fun. All right, so I'm noticing that my plan here kind of works, but it's not working as well as what I would like. So I'm thinking I'm going to add to it. I'm going to add some pieces like this. So the feet are longer, so it's more stable. It'll be stable side to side this way and front to back. And I think that'll be just what I need. So I'm going to put in a couple glue drops here to try to make this a little bit more stable.
Can I please use the glue gun?
And I'll hand the glue gun over to Isabella. So now already we can see that it is already much happier. Although I might have glued it to the table. There we go. It's much happier. It's standing up. So this was one way you could have made a Quidditch goal. And another way, the way that I made these ones is I actually started by taping 3 popsicle sticks together as like a little platform. And you might like this because it's sort of more compact and maybe you want like a nice compact Quidditch system that you can take on the road. But I could take 3 of these together and then I could decide what I want my next goal to be out of. Maybe I didn't have any dairy lids, but maybe I have cupcake liners. So maybe I will cut a hole out of this, and this could be part of my goal instead. Ooh, Isabella's saying, wouldn't that be flimsy? I'm sure there is a way that I could think of to maybe make it less flimsy. Because sometimes what I want is not available. But I kind of think this is cool, although she's right, like it's gonna sort of fall down when I have that like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some plastic from my recycling bin. I'm gonna cut some strips of plastic. And I will glue these strips of plastic on to my thing. I could have maybe just glued the strips of plastic into like a circle or a hole. But these are all different options. Yay. And hopefully you guys, I mean, one of the best parts about this is in Zoom, we're gonna see all the different types of ideas that you guys saw. But I wanna show you a few so you realize that there's so many different ways to make something. There really, really is. And all of the things that you have around your house really came from somebody trying to make something, having a problem, and then working really hard to find a solution to the problem. And other people saying, wow, that's really cool. I really like that solution. I would like to have that in my house. And then they sell it. And you're like, awesome, I would love a glue gun in my house. Who knew I would love to buy solid glue and be able to melt it with like just the pinch of a finger?
How do you use it?
Somebody did. All right, so I have this little guy. Whoop.
How does this
Uh-oh.
work?
And I'm noticing now I have a new problem. That I thought I made it stronger, but if I were to tape here, it really flops around. So I'm gonna add some more plastic strips. And we're gonna see if it works for me. Sometimes your ideas don't work. Just gotta put that out there. That's okay. Maybe this idea with a paper guy is not the idea that I wanted to use. That's okay. I'm not gonna worry about it because that is what science is. It's all trying something, yay it works, bummer it doesn't work. And that's okay. We have to learn a little bit all of the time from whatever we are working on. And I do know I have had some parents be like, my kids, they definitely do not like it when something doesn't work. Or they have a really hard time, they struggle when things don't work. And I just wanna let you guys know, I do too, totally normal. And I'll let you know that when I got my PhD, it took me 6 years of something not working to get 6 months of something that did work. So I had to have those 6 years though, because it gave me a bunch of knowledge. All right, this guy now works. I added like a second layer of plastic and I have my little base piece. So I just need to add on however I want to connect these. So I might just use tape this time for my friends who don't have a glue gun. So So I'm going to tape, I think, this plastic piece between 2 popsicle sticks, and that will hold them in place. I'm going to tape through this, just like that. And keep these guys like they're a little wobbly, so I'm going to use some tape around it. I'm just thinking as we go. I'm going to use some tape that goes around it. I'm going to put it at an angle. Here's a nice trick. If you want your tape to move as you wrap it, if you put it at an angle, it will sort of climb wherever you're going as you wrap it, instead of just being in one spot. All right, so I still have this problem of getting it to sit down. So I'm going to, I think, tape bottom pieces on it too. And we'll see how that works. I'm just gonna tape right around this. I'm gonna tape up the stick a little bit so it can hold the stick in place. And I'll tape around and back up that stick. Just like that. Oh, that's looking good. I'm enjoying this. All right, so now I'm just gonna tape around this, and I think I'll have something that would have worked if you didn't have a glue gun. So you don't have to have a glue gun to make this work. I'm gonna tape just sort of going around my whole bottom platform. Just, ooh, that's sticky, like this. And then I'm going to tape around the other side. I don't even need to tape the other side. So there's another option, all right? Or you could do it with these guys with pipe cleaners. You can clearly make it with dairy templates, whatever you want to make. And then we're going to make 3 of those, all right? And you can make them bigger or smaller. You can make them all the same size. You can make them different heights, really up to you. And then the next thing we need to make is our catapult system. Now, our catapult system, we don't want to just throw our balls. And the way we make something move usually is that we're touching it. We put a force on it. So we are, here I'm pushing it, and then I can let go, but it's gonna still keep going because it's already got that momentum. Nothing else is acting on it, keeps going. But I don't want to have to like throw it with my hand, right? Sometimes we want to just be able to put it into a system and then have it, whoop, fling. Uh-oh. Here, we'll use the quaffle. Maybe we want to have it fling without me doing anything. In that case, I have to somehow give that little guy energy. And I don't want it to be moving off the bat, so I'm going to give it what we call potential energy. Remember that potential energy is giving it the potential to possibly move later. And we can do that through a variety of things. One of the ways we could do it is we could just use deformation. We could just change what the spoon looks like. So I don't even need a rubber band. Maybe I take some sort of cylinder tube, and the way that we play it is I just press here and it flings. Because here I'm giving it potential energy. It could possibly move. And when I release it, we trade that potential energy for it moving, which is the kinetic energy. So now I could move. This is totally a great option. This would pack down nicely in a little game thing. You could maybe try it on different size tubes. That could be cool. You could very easily maybe aim. I mean, maybe this is a really cool way to make your little catapult system. You could also use a rubber band to make your catapult system. So this one I built this nice big structure. And I sort of started by building a square at the bottom to keep everything together. And then I built these nice thick bottom pieces to build triangles on, and then I have it that it pulls back, and I have this lovely thing. I will say, you guys are way better catapult engineers than me. Like, the catapults I see when kids build catapults in my classes are always so creative and always things I would not have thought of. So I know that you guys are probably gonna do a way better job than me, but I'm still gonna give it a go. I'm not worried about it. So, let's maybe make a catapult. And there's all sorts of ways that we can make them, but I'll show you how I made this one. And it all started with a square. So if I make a square out of popsicle sticks, then I'm gonna glue these guys together. And if you don't have popsicle sticks, you have even a cooler challenge because you get to really think outside of the box on what you're gonna use for your catapult. Maybe it is you decide to do something where it just like flings around a cylinder, like a pop can or these little silly candy soda tubes or my toothpick tube. Maybe you find something that you could do with some Solo cups or the cereal box that you have lying around. All sorts of options. All right, so I decided to give it a little extra strength by putting 3 popsicle sticks together, and I taped those together to sort of help it. Ooh, Isabella has a really cool Quidditch goal that she has made. Look at this, she made it just out of popsicle sticks. That's pretty neat. I really dig that. And, here's something interesting. She used 3 sticks on the bottom, and then she glued the sticks that are going vertical between those 3 sticks. That's really clever. This is what I'm talking about. You guys are fantastic makers, and you guys always come up with these really creative ways to connect things that helps adults. I'm not gonna lie. Like, adults might not think of things the same way you guys do. And I think that is awesome, because we need more creativity in the world.
Yes, we do.
For sure. All right, so I'm going to tape 2 sets of 3 popsicle sticks together if you're happening to follow my catapult. But again, you could just free build a catapult and it would be equally amazing. The only thing your catapult needs to be able to catapult is this ability to add potential energy into the system, either stretching a rubber band or deforming a spoon, and then the ability to change that potential energy into kinetic so that it moves, it flings off. And of course, if you have the ability to aim, even better, because that probably means you'll be a way good Quidditch player if you have the ability to aim.
Oh, I'm doing that with like the thing for the quaffle, like the catapult, and then you catch it in this, and then you fly over and over.
Ooh. See, Isabella's got a cool thing where this is you're going to be your defense.
That's going to be my offense.
Oh, this is her catapult.
No.
No.
So the catapults are kind of like just like they start out the game and they cast the ball.
Uh-huh.
And then but all you can touch on this is the string that's going to be attached to it. So you have to swing it to launch it into the ground.
Interesting. So she's going to swing her. She's going to raise it up on a string, which gives it the potential energy. And as it swings down, it'll create more movement. It'll get more kinetic energy, and she's hoping it'll fling off, and that's how she's going to play hers. That's cool. And I love that every player can make their own mechanism. Like, she could have this cool swinging pendulum style mechanism to fire her golden snitch into the goal. And I could have like something that looks like this to fire mine in. Maybe Georgia has this cool idea of the pop can and the spoon. So everybody can make their own. Doesn't have to be the same. And what's great about that is sometimes when everybody makes their own thing, we all learn what works better. And we can learn from that too. So I have my little sticks in the middle, and I'm going to have this stick stand straight up. And we're gonna hold it there for a moment. And we're gonna do it on the other side too. Just like this. This catapult is gonna be harder to make if you don't have hot glue, because masking tape probably is not strong enough. Something to think about. And then I want to give it extra strength, so I'm going to make a triangle. You might remember when we did that Oreo engineering, we learned that triangles are the strongest shape. Yeah, so they are stronger than squares, because squares can really easily sort of topple over. Triangles are hard to topple. So I'm going to make a little triangle as like an extra strengthening piece of this. Because maybe I am like the ultimate Quidditch player that just like flings the balls out of this world. Which might not actually make me good, because that might not put it in the goal.
Yeah.
You know, there's some accuracy and strength things going on here, which is tricky.
Mine doesn't go in the goals. It just starts the game and flings them all over the field.
Oh.
And then you cast them with the players.
All right, I'm going to put another piece here as my structural piece. And you can see that it's very similar now to sort of what I made before. And that is how I made that guy. And then what we need to attach our spoon onto our system. And there's a couple of ways you could do that. In fact, I think maybe the easiest way, we can take a rubber band and we can just use the rubber band to attach it. Let's see, I'm gonna find a little one in my bag of wondrous rubber bands. So maybe my rubber band is just here to attach it. It's not gonna be here to, what do I wanna say, to make it fling. I'm gonna use a different one to do that. I'm just gonna swing it around a bunch of times. And like this. All right, so now it's like pretty attached. And I could glue this here. I'm gonna pull it up some so that it doesn't hit. I could glue it like this. I'm gonna pull it up even more. I might have glued this one a little bit lower than I wanted to, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna glue that just like that right there. And maybe tape. Sometimes tape is helpful. And if you have questions, feel free to send them on over our way. Uh-oh, my glue did not line up.
Grace says hi.
Hi, Grace!
And also, Jack Sloan showed up.
Yay! Hello, Jack! How are you today? All right, I'm just gonna hold this in place for a moment while this stuff starts to dry, because right now it's really wet. Oh, and see if I take my fingers off of it, it breaks. Wait, what are you looking for?
Popsicle sticks.
And I think I might want to add tape to this piece to hold it, or maybe I could do, maybe I'll add some rubber bands to make sure this stuff stays in place. I want to make sure that these guys all sort of stick together, these rubber bands, because that is like the base right now of my catapult system that I'm going to use. But as you notice, Isabella has a totally different plan on how she's going to make her piece fly when it's her turn for this, which I think is awesome.
But I'm also using the catapults.
Oh, she's using both. She's got double trouble. All right, so I'm gonna maybe loop this guy around here so I've got a little bit more structure, a little more stability, like that. Oh, that's looking good. And now you'll notice that this doesn't really, maybe it does what I want, but I like things that fling far. So what I could do, if you built a system kind of like mine, is you can take a rubber band and you can put it on the bottom and pull it over the top like this, because now it's really gonna force that guy to come up. It's a good thing we put these rubber bands here, because I'm actually noticing my glue didn't hold. But that's okay, the rubber bands are there. And now I have this awesome little catapult that I can use. But again, there's like so many different ways to make catapults. Some of them are really easy, some of them are a little bit more intricate. Some of them, maybe you decide you want to use like an extra cup. You don't have to use a spoon. You could build a cup for your bludgers or your quaffles or your snitches as they fly through the air. It's totally up to you. But in the end, the idea is that we've got one person who's shooting on our goals, and we have to have somebody who's defending them, because it's not much fun to play a game if like you just have to watch other people score. So I was thinking, as the last piece is our person on the broomstick. And so I've got some string in here. This is like my bag of crazy, yeah. I have like a lot of randomness. If you enjoy being a maker, you need to ask your parents to like be able to sift through your recycling bin or sift through things that might go in the trash but could be totally reused. Like, I don't think this is recyclable, but it can totally be reused in a project, and it's kind of fun, and why not? So sometimes we find things that we can use later.
I'm using this.
So as my defense, because everybody's got to have a good defense, and each person should make their own defensive system that can't be big, so it can't like block the goals. We're going to make a flying defensive system because, come on, it's Quidditch. Exactly. Of course. So I'm just going to tie a little string on my broomstick. I'm going to use this toothpick as my broomstick. But it's going to be my way to try to like thwart anything going into the goals. So I've got this, and then I want to like, obviously this is not going to do a good job thwarting something. I'm going to build a person on my broomstick. Ooh, I need broomstick. I need the back of the broomstick. How could I almost forget? Hello? Who is not calling me out on Dr. Erica right there? Dr. Erica, what about your broomstick? It can't just be a toothpick. No way, Jose. I'm going to cut some pipe cleaner. I'm going to twist it on the back. Maybe with a little bit of glue. And that will be my broomstick. I have like the Nimbus 10,000.
What does that mean?
It's like an awesome broomstick. Doesn't even exist yet. is so fast, it's black on the back. What? I'm gonna glue that in there. All right, my broomstick's getting a little bit cooler. I need a person on the front to even it out.
That's not what I was going to do. I was going to tie it to the front and the back, and then tie it in a triangle.
Isabella has a different idea on what she would like to do on how she can create that stability so that it's not sort of floppy right side up and upside down, which is great. I want to make a person. I don't know if I can make we'll make a caped person maybe. Like this could be their cape. They could be riding on the broomstick.
They'd be in Ravenclaw if you wanted to be
Yes, I want to be in Ravenclaw because Ravenclaw's amazing. Alright, so we're going to glue this cape on somehow. Thinking maybe we just wrap around it. Let's punch a hole. I'm going to punch a hole in it so that string can go through the cape. Because I kind of don't like that I have to choose. So these are the things that I think about when I'm making something. Again, no right answer, no wrong answer. It's fun just to sit and create. Alright, so here is this part. And I'm going to wrap it around so it can be like a cape. Oh yeah, that looks... I'm pretty happy with this the way this is coming.
This is how fast it is. It's like almost thunder mine.
George's is as fast as thunder, she's saying, which I think is super cool. She used some wire as her broomsticks pieces. Alright, now obviously I need a head for my cape. Because it's going to be weird if I have like a headless Ravenclaw kid. What could I use? I could maybe crumple this up as a head.
I want to use...
This could be my little head. Notice I'm not trying to make it look exactly like something in my head. I'm not trying to make it look like something that I might buy at the store. Because they have like plastic molding and they have millions of dollars and I'm just making something fun to play with out of my recycling bin. So it's not going to look the way it might look if I had all those extra resources. And to be honest, it might be more fun this way. Because you get to build it. Alright, I'm going to wait for my glue to dry. I think I might draw a smile on it. But this is going to be my little person. I think I need to cut my cape. So maybe this person, maybe Isabella flings her Snitch and it's almost going to go and I can sort of bring it over and I can try to knock her Snitch out of the air on the broomstick just like they do guarding people. And then we each get one of these and we each get a catapult. And then we're going to try to fling them back and forth to get points in our game. And this could be a great tabletop game, especially now that we're all stuck inside. Which is kind of a win. Alright, I'm thinking we should see if there's questions, or we should do the best part of the day and go check out Zoom, because I really want to see everybody's projects. It's going to be so good. What do we got? Any questions?
None yet, but we're also in a lag.
That means it's time to go to Zoom.
We also have a lag time of about 2 minutes, though.
Oh, we have a 2-minute lag time.
Well,
Holy
maybe
moly.
30 seconds. But
Alright, well, I will, I guess, maybe draw some things on here while we have lag time and wait for potential questions to come in. If you have questions you could ask about hot gluing things together, taping things together, things you could use to build with, all of those things will work. I'm going to draw some arms on here. Zoop, like that. Those are my arms.
I just need to build my catapult, which is
I'm going to draw my face.
easy.
My face is not going to smile because it is like game time.
I see a catapult in the Goods Kids video.
I'm so excited to go to Zoom and see what people make for this. Because this is going to be so fun. This is my little blocker. Shoop. And like I can fly between the goals just like that.
Orion says Draco
Malfoy.
is his favorite character.
Wow. Bold move. So hopefully you get Slytherin tomorrow on our sorting hat. And you could be bunkmates with Draco. Which could be fun. Could get up to mischief. It's gonna be. I mean, you can always test too. We could see how well it works. I think I'm gonna be aiming a little high though. I think this is gonna. Oops. Clearly, I need to maybe engineer something on how this is easier to load up. I'm having trouble loading. I think I need to engineer something for that. Maybe a popsicle stick on the bottom. I think I need to do that. Clearly, I'm struggling, and I just lost pretty much all of our Quidditch balls. Here we go. Oh, that might have gone through if I had aimed right. Might have made one. Alright, well, since there's no questions yet, we're going to head over into Zoom so we can see all of our projects and have lunch with our fabulous science family. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and you check us out on patreon.com/RosieResearch if you want to get the template for tomorrow's paper circuit. I know it's going to be Kaya's favorite day. It's my favorite day too. Whenever we get to make fun paper circuits, Evan says, put it up, but I have no idea where our sorting hat went to. Isabella's sitting on it. Here we go. We're going to make this guy tomorrow, and it will see, you'll choose randomly where on the hat you want to press, and it will tell you what house you're in. And if you're in no house, you're like me, a sad muggle. But maybe the sorting hat can't decide. Ooh, are we Hufflepuff? Are we Gryffindor? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow. So this is going to be a fun paper circuit plan for tomorrow. And then next week, we are going to go into a bug's life. We're going to learn how we can help our insect friends keep doing what they're doing so we have the lovely lives that we have. And of course, we will continue to watch Tiny Dancer and friends go through the process of metamorphosis from tadpoles to frogs. We have some caterpillars who are looking like maybe by Monday will be in their chrysalises. And we have some beetles who are trying to turn in mealworms who are going to be turning into beetles if we're successful. So we have a lot of fun science going on. Make sure you join us. And all of our friends, we will see you over in Zoom. I hope you enjoyed this fun making project of creating a great Quidditch game on your tabletop. And I hope this makes hours of fun for all of our friends out there. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
Bye.